Welcome back. This video today is for week 4, activity 1 on half angles for sine and cosine. Alright, so the idea is we want to find sine of a 15-degree angle, but if we go back to our unit circle, there is no 15 degrees on here. So we're trying to find a way to turn 15 into one of those particular angles. Well, it turns out that 15 happens to be exactly half of 30. 15 is the same thing as 30 divided by 2. And 30, it's on here. So that's what we want. That's what we're trying to do in this particular problem, is set something up that way. So this particular formula, the half angle formula, instead of 15, we're going to write it as 30 over 2. And we're going to use that half angle formula, which then says we want 1 minus cosine of the angle alpha, and that angle alpha is just the 30, not the 30 over 2, not the 15, it's the 30. All right, and then we're going to divide that answer by 2. All right, then there's this plus or minus sign that's out front, and that can be a little confusing. So let's talk about what we're really looking for. We're looking for sine of a 15-degree angle, and it could be positive or it could be negative, depending on where it is on the unit circle. So on the unit circle, you will notice that in quadrant 1, which is where we are, 15 degrees would land right in here between 0 and 30. In quadrant 1, you can see the sine answers are all positive. All right, because in quadrant 1, sine answers are all positive. If we looked in quadrant 2, we would see that sine answers were all positive. But in quadrant 3, the sine answers are all negative. Quadrant 4, the sine answers are all negative. So that's what we're looking for with that plus and minus, is where at on the graph is this particular angle we're looking for. And again, since 15 degrees is in quadrant 1, we'll be using a positive version of this. So our final answer then, sine 15 degrees, is going to be a positive answer. Now this square root part here is going to be messy, but we don't have to do anything with it. We just need to find the cosine at 30. So that's what we're looking for here, is just this part only. Cosine at 30. So if we go back, cosine at 30 was square root 3 over 2. So I'm going to do 1 minus square root 3 over 2, and that's it. Stop. I'm not going to clean up that mess any more than what it already is. We're just practicing the formulas. Again, we could get a calculator out and get a decimal for that, but we're not going to bother with that. All right, so let's try one more. Let's try number 40 with cosine. All right, so what we're looking for here is, again, is the 22.5 degrees. It is half of what? Well, times 22.5 times 2, and it's 45. And the idea is, again, if we go back to our unit circle here, that we don't have 22.5 degrees anywhere on this page, but we sure do have 45. So that allows us to use this to help. So again, the formula for a half angle for cosine then is that cosine of 45 over 2, which is a fancy way of writing 22.5, is equal to square root of 1 plus cosine of that alpha angle. And again, that new angle is 45, not the messy 22.5. All right? Then again, there's the plus or minus. It could be positive, could be negative. So let's think about it. 22.5, that's in quadrant 1. If I go to quadrant 1 and look, all the cosine answers in quadrant 1 are positive. So that means I'm going to be getting a positive answer. So cosine 22.5 is going to be a positive answer. And then again, this awful square root here, we don't have to do anything except for find cosine 45. If I come back, cosine at 45 was right here, square root 2 over 2. And again, it is okay to leave that answer. It is simplified. It's ugly. A bit better as a decimal in the real world, but it's simplified enough to call it quits, and we are done. Thanks. Good luck on the other ones.